The second day brought new horrors. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth and began destroying everything humans had built in space. Communication satellites exploded one by one. Space stations that had taken decades to build were reduced to glowing debris in minutes. General Alex Carter stood in the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. He watched the destruction on dozens of screens. Each explosion represented years of human work and billions of dollars. More importantly, each attack brought the aliens closer to Earth itself. "Sir, we've lost contact with Luna Base," reported Lieutenant Commander Ben Walsh. The moon base had been humanity's proudest achievement. Now it was gone, destroyed by a single blast from an alien weapon. Dr. Nina Foster worked in a laboratory deep beneath the Colorado mountains. She had spent her entire career studying physics and engineering. Now she faced technology that seemed impossible. The alien weapons used energy in ways that human science could not explain. Their power source appears to be some kind of crystalline matrix, Nina explained to General Carter during a video call. "It's unlike anything we've ever seen. The crystals seem to store and channel energy at the quantum level." On the surface, cities around the world prepared for the worst. Colonel Amy Brooks led evacuation efforts in major population centers. Millions of people moved into underground shelters and bunkers. The lucky ones reached facilities that could protect them from nuclear weapons. No one knew if these shelters could stop alien attacks. The alien leader, who called himself the Hierarch, spoke again to all of humanity. His voice reached every radio and television on Earth. "Your resistance is noted and found inadequate. We will now demonstrate the price of defiance." Massive alien ships descended into Earth's atmosphere. They moved slowly and deliberately, like predators stalking wounded prey. The ships were so large that they blocked out the sun above entire cities. Their presence created winds and storms as they displaced huge amounts of air. The first atmospheric bombardment began over military targets. Beams of blue energy struck Air Force bases, naval yards, and army installations. The attacks were precise and devastating. In seconds, facilities that had taken years to build were reduced to glowing craters. Lieutenant Commander Walsh led the last squadron of space fighters that remained operational. His 12 ships attacked one of the smaller alien vessels. Human missiles and energy weapons struck the crystalline hull but caused no visible damage. The alien ship's shields absorbed every attack without effort. "All weapons are ineffective," Walsh reported to Admiral Sullivan. "Their shields are adapting to our weapons in real time. It's like they're learning from every shot we fire." The alien response was swift and merciless. Energy beams lanced out from the enemy ship, destroying half of Walsh's squadron in seconds. The remaining fighters scattered, but 3 more were picked off by the impossibly accurate alien weapons. Walsh barely escaped in his damaged fighter. His report was grim. Human weapons could not even scratch the alien defenses. Earth's military was helpless against the invaders. Dr. Foster received her first piece of alien technology when a damaged enemy probe crashed in the Arizona desert. Military teams recovered the wreckage and brought it to her underground laboratory. What she found inside the probe amazed and terrified her. The alien technology was not just advanced, it was perfect. Every component was flawlessly manufactured. The materials were stronger and lighter than anything humans could make. The energy systems operated at efficiency levels that seemed to violate the laws of physics. "They've been building technology like this for thousands of years," Foster explained to her team. "Maybe longer. Their civilization is ancient and highly advanced. We're like children with sticks fighting against modern soldiers." Working with engineer Tony Garcia and physicist Dr. Rachel Stone, Foster began the impossible task of understanding alien technology. The 3 scientists worked around the clock, knowing that humanity's survival might depend on their research. Meanwhile, the siege of Earth continued. The alien fleet formed a complete blockade around the planet. No human ship could escape. The aliens destroyed every satellite and space station methodically and efficiently. Earth was cut off from the rest of the solar system. Captain Ryan Davis attempted to break through the blockade with a small, fast ship. He hoped to reach the outer colonies and bring back reinforcements. The alien response was immediate and overwhelming. Davis barely escaped as energy beams filled the space around his ship. On Earth's surface, the bombardment intensified. The aliens targeted major cities, but they were careful not to destroy everything. They wanted Earth intact for colonization. The attacks were designed to break human morale and force surrender. New York was the first major city to be attacked. Alien ships hovered over Manhattan and fired precise energy beams at key buildings. The Empire State Building vanished in a flash of blue light. Times Square became a crater filled with melted concrete and steel. London fell next, then Tokyo, then Paris. Each attack followed the same pattern. The aliens would hover over the city and methodically destroy important buildings. Military installations were vaporized. Government buildings were reduced to ash. The message was clear. Human civilization was being dismantled piece by piece. Colonel Brooks coordinated the evacuation of millions of people from the targeted cities. Underground shelters filled to capacity and beyond. Food and water began running short. Medical supplies were stretched thin. The carefully planned evacuation procedures collapsed under the weight of global panic. General Carter received reports from around the world. Every nation's military was suffering devastating losses. Weapons that had cost trillions of dollars to develop were useless against alien technology. Fighter jets were swatted from the sky like insects. Naval ships were sunk by single energy blasts. The aliens seemed to possess unlimited resources. Their fleet showed no signs of damage despite constant human attacks. Their weapons never seemed to run out of power. They moved with perfect coordination as if controlled by a single mind. Admiral Sullivan called an emergency meeting of the world's remaining military leaders. The situation was desperate. Earth's defenses were crumbling. The alien ultimatum would expire in 5 days, and humanity had no way to fight back. "We need options," Sullivan announced to the assembled generals and admirals. "Conventional weapons are useless. Our ships can't penetrate their defenses. What do we have left?" The answers were not encouraging. Earth's nuclear arsenal might damage the alien ships, but using nuclear weapons would destroy the planet that humanity was trying to save. Chemical and biological weapons were useless against aliens who wore environmental suits. Every military strategy seemed to lead to the same conclusion. Humanity could not win this war. Dr. Foster's research team worked desperately to find some weakness in the alien technology. The crashed probe provided valuable information, but reverse engineering such advanced systems would take years. Humanity had days. As the third day ended, the situation looked hopeless. The alien fleet controlled space around Earth completely. Major cities lay in ruins. Millions of people huddled in underground shelters waiting for the end. The hierarch broadcast another message to the human survivors. "You have 4 days remaining. Your continued resistance only increases the destruction. Surrender now, and some of you may be allowed to live as servants in the new Zephyrian colony." General Carter looked at the reports covering his desk. Every piece of news was bad. Earth's military was defeated. The government was in chaos. Billions of people faced death or slavery. But in the depths of the Colorado mountains, Dr. Foster and her team continued their work. They had found something interesting in the alien probe, something that might give humanity a chance. Commander Jake Morrison floated in the control room of Aegis Prime, Earth's largest space station. The station orbited high above Earth, watching for dangers from deep space. Jake had been doing this job for 5 years. Most days were boring. Today felt different. Dr. Lisa Hayes rushed into the control room. Her face was pale and her hand shook as she held a data tablet. "Jake, you need to see this right now," she said. Lisa was the station's expert on alien life. She studied space signals and searched for signs of other intelligent beings. Jake pushed himself over to Lisa's workstation. The screen showed energy readings unlike anything he had ever seen. Massive spikes of power were moving toward Earth from the edge of the solar system. The readings were so strong that the computers could barely process them. "How big are these energy sources?" Jake asked. "Bigger than anything we've ever built," Lisa replied. "Much bigger. And they're moving fast." Jake activated the station's alert system. Red lights flashed throughout Aegis Prime. All crew members rushed to their positions. Jake opened a communication channel to Earth's Space Defense Command. Admiral Kate Sullivan appeared on the main screen. She was a tough woman who had led Earth's space forces for 10 years. "What's the situation, Commander?" she asked. "Unknown contacts approaching from deep space," Jake reported. "Energy signatures are massive. Dr. Hayes believes they might be artificial." Admiral Sullivan's expression grew serious. "Keep monitoring. I'm putting all defense forces on high alert." 3 hours later, the unknown objects dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. Captain Ryan Davis was piloting the scout ship Horizon when the aliens arrived. What he saw made his blood run cold. Hundreds of crystalline ships appeared in space. Each ship was the size of a small city. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Blue energy flowed across their surfaces like living lightning. The ships formed perfect formations, moving with precision that no human fleet could match. Ryan activated his ship's recording systems and sent the data back to Earth. "This is Captain Davis," he broadcast. "I count over 300 alien vessels. They're unlike anything in our databases. Sending visual data now." On Aegis Prime, Jake and Lisa watched the footage in amazement and fear. The alien ships were clearly built by an advanced civilization. Their technology appeared to be centuries ahead of anything humans had developed. Suddenly, the alien fleet began broadcasting a message. The transmission reached every human communication device in the solar system. Space stations, ships, and even devices on Earth received the signal. A voice spoke in perfect English, though it sounded strange and cold. "Primitive inhabitants of the third planet, we are the Zephyrian Empire. Your world has been selected for colonization. You will surrender immediately and evacuate your planet. Resistance is useless. You have been warned." Admiral Sullivan tried to respond. "This is Admiral Kate Sullivan of Earth Space Defense Command. We wish to discuss this peacefully. Perhaps we can find a solution that works for both our peoples." The alien response came swiftly and brutally. 3 asteroid mining stations suddenly exploded in brilliant flashes of light. The stations had been home to over 2,000 workers. They were all gone in seconds. "That was your demonstration," the alien voice announced. "We do not negotiate with primitive species. You have 7 of your days to begin evacuation. After that, we will cleanse your planet." Ryan Davis watched in horror as the alien weapons fired. Beams of pure energy reached across millions of miles of space in an instant. The weapons were more powerful than anything humans had ever imagined. He knew that Earth's defenses would be useless against such technology. Jake felt sick as he watched the destruction. Those mining stations had been defended by the best shields and armor that human technology could provide. The alien weapons had cut through them like they were made of paper. Admiral Sullivan's face was grim when she spoke to her officers. "All ships are to return to defensive positions around Earth immediately. We need to analyze what we're facing." Dr. Lisa Hayes worked frantically to study the alien transmissions and energy signatures. What she discovered was not encouraging. The alien ships used power sources that human science barely understood. Their weapons channeled energy in ways that seemed to violate known physics. "Their entire fleet appears to be connected," Lisa explained to Jake. "They share information instantly across vast distances. It's like they all share one mind." Captain Davis carefully maneuvered his ship closer to the alien fleet, staying hidden behind asteroids. His job was to gather intelligence about the enemy. What he saw filled him with dread. The alien ships were not just advanced. They were perfect. Every surface was smooth and flawless. They moved without any visible engines or thrusters. Energy flowed through them like blood through veins. These beings had mastered technology that humans could only dream about. The Horizon's sensors detected something else troubling. The alien ships were scanning Earth constantly. They were mapping every city, every military base, every hiding place. The invaders were preparing for a complete conquest. Jake received reports from Earth about the global situation. Panic was spreading as news of the alien ultimatum reached the public. Governments were meeting in emergency sessions. Military forces were mobilizing. But everyone knew that human weapons would be useless against such advanced technology. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth, taking positions throughout the solar system. They destroyed several more space installations as warnings. Each attack demonstrated their overwhelming superiority. Human civilization faced extinction, and there seemed to be no way to fight back. Admiral Sullivan called a meeting of Earth's top military and scientific leaders. "We have 6 days to find a solution," she announced. "These aliens have given us a choice, leave Earth or die. But I refuse to abandon our world without a fight." The meeting was grim. Earth's best weapons could not penetrate alien defenses. Human ships were too slow to escape alien attacks. The enemy could destroy Earth's entire civilization without losing a single vessel. As night fell on Earth, billions of people looked up at the sky with fear. Alien ships could be seen as bright points of light among the stars. The invaders had come, and humanity's survival hung in the balance. Jake Morrison stood at the observation deck of Aegis Prime, watching the alien fleet in the distance. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new horrors, but tonight he could only wonder if this would be humanity's final week of existence. Dr. Nina Foster stared at the alien crystal she had extracted from the crashed probe. For 2 days she had tried to understand how it worked. Every test revealed something new and impossible. The crystal stored more energy than a nuclear reactor, but was no larger than her fist. The crystalline matrix isn't just storing energy, Foster explained to her team. It's creating energy by manipulating quantum fields. But the design is rigid. Everything follows exact patterns. Tony Garcia, the team's engineer, pointed to his computer screen. Look at these energy pathways. They're perfectly organized. There's no variation, no flexibility. It's like the aliens can only think in straight lines. Dr. Rachel Stone nodded as she studied the data. Their technology is incredibly advanced, but it's also predictable. Every system follows the same logical patterns. There's no creativity, no improvisation. Foster realized something important. The alien technology was perfect because it never changed. The Zephyrians had built the same types of weapons and ships for thousands of years. They had stopped innovating because their technology already worked so well. But humans are different, Foster said excitedly. We constantly change and adapt. We improvise. We make mistakes and learn from them. That's our strength. Working day and night, Foster's team began modifying human weapons to work with alien technology. They took the crystalline power source and connected it to human computers and weapon systems. The combination should have been impossible, but human creativity made it work. The first breakthrough came when they created a hybrid energy weapon. It used alien power but human targeting systems. The weapon could penetrate Zephyrian shields because it combined technologies in ways the aliens had never seen. Meanwhile, Commander Jake Morrison led a desperate mission to board a damaged alien ship. The Zephyrian vessel had been hit by debris from one of their own attacks. Its shields were down and its hull was cracked. Morrison and his team approached the alien ship in a small shuttle. They had to move carefully because other alien vessels were nearby. The shuttle's stealth systems helped them avoid detection, but they had only minutes before the aliens noticed them. The interior of the alien ship was unlike anything Morrison had ever seen. Crystalline walls pulsed with blue energy. The corridors were perfectly smooth and geometrically precise. Everything was designed for efficiency, not comfort. This place feels like a machine, not a ship where people live, said Sergeant Maria Lopez, one of Morrison's team members. She was right. The alien ship had no personal quarters, no recreation areas, no signs that individual beings lived there. Morrison's team found the ship's control room. Alien symbols covered the walls, displaying information in patterns that hurt human eyes to look at. But they also found something unexpected. The control systems were incredibly simple. It's like they only know one way to do things, Morrison reported to Admiral Sullivan. Every system is identical. They don't have backup plans or alternative methods. Everything follows the same patterns. The team discovered that the alien ship was controlled by a central crystal matrix. This crystal connected to every system on the ship and to the entire alien fleet. The Zephyrians shared information instantly, but they also shared weaknesses. Sergeant Lopez used a portable electromagnetic pulse device to disable the central crystal. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Not only did the ship shut down, but nearby alien vessels seemed confused and disoriented. "We've found something important," Morrison announced. "These aliens think as one mind. If we can disrupt their central communication, we can confuse their entire fleet." Back on Earth, Dr. Foster's team achieved another breakthrough. They successfully reverse-engineered the alien communication system. The discovery revealed the Zephyrians' greatest weakness. They could not function independently. Their entire civilization is based on shared thinking, Foster explained to General Carter. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier is connected to their central command network. They've never learned to think for themselves. Tony Garcia designed a computer virus specifically to attack the alien communication system. The virus was based on human chaotic thinking patterns. It would introduce random variations into the alien network, something their rigid systems could not handle. The aliens expect logical, predictable responses, Garcia explained. This virus does the opposite. It makes random decisions. It improvises. It thinks like a human. Admiral Sullivan realized that humanity's greatest weakness was actually their greatest strength. Humans were chaotic, unpredictable, and constantly changing. These traits had always been seen as problems in military operations. Against the aliens, they were advantages. Captain Ryan Davis volunteered to test the new hybrid weapons. His ship, the Defiance, was equipped with Foster's modified energy systems and Garcia's disruptive communication devices. The ship looked the same on the outside, but its capabilities had been transformed. Davis approached a small alien patrol ship. Instead of attacking directly, he used the communication virus to confuse the enemy vessel. The alien ship began spinning in circles, unable to determine friend from enemy. The hybrid weapons worked perfectly. Davis's energy beams cut through the alien shields like they weren't there. The enemy ship exploded in seconds, the first alien vessel destroyed by human forces. Target eliminated, Davis reported with excitement. The new weapons are effective. Repeat, alien shields are penetrable. The news spread quickly through human forces. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity had weapons that could hurt the aliens. Morale improved instantly. Soldiers who had been ready to surrender now prepared to fight back. Colonel Amy Brooks equipped her ground forces with the new hybrid weapons. When alien troops landed to secure military bases, they met unexpected resistance. Human soldiers using improvised tactics and unpredictable strategies confused the alien warriors. The aliens had expected organized military units fighting in predictable formations. Instead, they faced guerrilla fighters who attacked from unexpected directions using unconventional methods. Brooks's forces used human creativity to turn every disadvantage into an advantage. Dr. Foster made one more crucial discovery. The alien ships were powered by massive crystalline reactors that followed strict operational patterns. If humans could introduce chaos into these systems, the aliens' own power sources could be turned against them. "We don't need to destroy their ships," Foster explained. "We just need to make them think in ways they've never thought before. Their own perfection will destroy them." The plan was audacious and dangerous. Human forces would use the communication virus to inject chaotic thinking patterns into the alien fleet's shared consciousness. The aliens' rigid minds would be unable to process random, creative thoughts. Morrison's team prepared for the most important mission in human history. They would infiltrate the alien command ship and plant Garcia's virus directly into the Zephyrian central computer. If they succeeded, humanity might survive. If they failed, Earth would fall. As the fourth day ended, humanity prepared for a counterattack. The aliens still controlled space around Earth and their fleet remained powerful. But humans now had weapons that could fight back and strategies the aliens could not predict. The hierarch broadcast another ultimatum. "You have 3 days remaining. Your small victories change nothing. Surrender or face complete annihilation." But Admiral Sullivan was no longer listening to alien threats. She was planning humanity's response. The aliens had made one crucial mistake. They had underestimated human creativity and adaptability. The galaxy was about to learn that technological superiority meant nothing when facing opponents who refused to follow the rules. Humanity's greatest strength was not their weapons or their ships. It was their ability to think in ways that no other species could imagine. The real war was about to begin. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood in the command center, watching her officers prepare for Operation Wildcard. The name fit perfectly. Everything about the human counterattack was unpredictable and chaotic. The aliens would never expect what was coming. Captain Ryan Davis checked his ship's new systems one final time. The Defiance had been completely rebuilt using a combination of human and alien technology. The hybrid weapons glowed with blue energy, but they were controlled by human computers that thought in ways the aliens could not understand. "All ships report ready," Davis announced. "The fleet is prepared for Operation Wildcard." The human fleet looked small compared to the massive alien armada, but appearances were deceiving. Each human ship had been modified with Foster's hybrid technology. More importantly, each ship's crew had been trained to fight in completely unpredictable ways. Commander Jake Morrison coordinated the space battle from his command ship. His screens showed the positions of hundreds of alien vessels surrounding Earth. The Zephyrian fleet moved in perfect formations, following patterns they had used for thousands of years. "Remember," Morrison announced to all human ships, "the aliens expect us to fight like soldiers. Instead, we fight like humans. Be creative. Be chaotic. Make it up as you go along." The attack began with something the aliens had never seen before: human ships moving in random patterns. Instead of organized formations, the human fleet scattered in all directions. Some ships attacked, others retreated, and a few simply spun in circles for no apparent reason. The alien targeting computers could not process the chaotic human movements. Cypherian weapons were designed to predict enemy behavior and lead their targets, but human ships were not behaving logically, so the alien weapons kept missing. Davis led his squadron in a spiraling attack pattern that made no tactical sense. His ships moved like they were dancing rather than fighting. The aliens tried to respond, but their rigid thinking could not adapt to such random behavior. "Their weapons are having trouble tracking us," Davis reported with excitement. "The more unpredictable we are, the less effective their targeting becomes." On the alien command ship, the hierarch watched the human attack with confusion. His tactical computers could not analyze human movements because they followed no recognizable pattern. For the first time in his long life, the hierarch felt uncertainty. Meanwhile, Colonel Amy Brooks led ground forces equipped with Tony Garcia's communication disruptor devices. When alien troops landed to secure major cities, they found themselves cut off from their command network. Without central coordination, the alien soldiers became confused and disoriented. Brooks's fighters attacked using guerrilla tactics that violated every rule of military engagement. They hid in buildings, attacked from sewers, and used improvised weapons made from alien technology and human creativity. The aliens had trained to fight organized armies, not chaotic urban warfare. In the underground laboratory, Dr. Nina Foster activated the master virus that Garcia had designed. The program spread through captured alien communication equipment and began transmitting chaotic signals to the Zephyrian fleet. The virus was designed to think like a human. It made random decisions, changed its mind constantly, and introduced creative variations into every system it touched. The alien network, which depended on perfect order and logic, began to malfunction. Commander Morrison watched as alien ships started behaving strangely. Some vessels stopped in mid-flight. Others began firing at empty space. A few alien ships even started shooting at each other as the communication virus confused their identification systems. "The virus is working," Morrison announced. "Their fleet coordination is breaking down. Individual ships are losing contact with Central Command." Captain Davis pressed his advantage, leading his squadron in an attack on a large alien battleship. The enemy vessel was powerful enough to destroy Davis's entire squadron, but its targeting systems were confused by the chaotic human attack patterns. Davis's ships attacked from 6 different directions simultaneously, each using a different type of weapon. The alien battleship's shields tried to adapt to the incoming fire, but they could not process so many different energy signatures at once. "Shields are fluctuating," Davis reported. "The aliens can't adapt to multiple types of attack at the same time. Their defense systems are overloading." The human hybrid weapons punched through the alien shields and struck the crystalline hull. The battleship's perfect armor cracked and shattered under the assault. For the first time, a major alien vessel was seriously damaged. Sergeant Maria Lopez led a boarding party onto the crippled alien ship. Her team moved through the corridors using tactics that made no sense to alien defenders. Instead of advancing in military formation, Lopez's soldiers spread out randomly and attacked from unexpected angles. The alien warriors were skilled fighters, but they had trained against opponents who fought logically. Human soldiers who attacked randomly and changed tactics constantly were impossible to predict. Lopez's team captured key sections of the ship before the aliens could organize a proper defense. "We've secured the engine room," Lopez reported. "Planting charges now. This ship won't be bothering anyone anymore." The alien battleship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The destruction was visible from Earth's surface, where billions of people watched their defenders finally strike back effectively against the invaders. Dr. Foster's virus continued spreading through the alien network. The Zephyrian fleet, which had operated as a single coordinated force, began breaking apart into confused individual ships. Without central command, many alien vessels simply stopped functioning. The hierarch tried to regain control of his fleet, but the virus had introduced too much chaos into his communication systems. Every order he sent was changed randomly by the program. Commands to attack became orders to retreat. Formation movements turned into random wandering. Morrison realized that the aliens' greatest strength had become their greatest weakness. Their perfect coordination was now working against them as the virus turned their own communication system into a weapon. "All ships press the attack," Morrison ordered. "The alien fleet is falling apart. Don't give them time to adapt." Human forces attacked with renewed energy. Ships that had been hiding in the asteroid belt emerged to join the battle. Ground forces pushed alien troops out of captured territories. For the first time since the invasion began, humans were winning. Captain Davis led his squadron against the alien command ship itself. The massive vessel was the center of the Zephyrian network, and destroying it would cripple the entire alien fleet. But the command ship was also the most heavily defended target in the alien armada. Davis approached the alien flagship using the most chaotic attack pattern his pilots could manage. Human ships flew in spirals, loops, and random patterns that hurt to watch. The alien defensive systems tried to track them but failed completely. "Their point defenses can't handle our movement patterns," Davis announced. "We're too unpredictable for their targeting computers." Moving in for the final attack. The hierarch watched in growing panic as human ships approached his command vessel. His most advanced defenses were useless against opponents who refused to fight logically. For the first time in Zephyrian history, their technological superiority was not enough. The human attack struck the alien command ship from all directions simultaneously. Hybrid weapons designed by Foster's team cut through shields that had never been penetrated. The crystalline hull, which had seemed invulnerable, began to crack and shatter. Inside the command ship, alien systems began failing as Garcia's virus spread through every computer network. The hierarch tried to coordinate his defenses, but his own technology was turning against him. "Impossible," the hierarch transmitted on all frequencies. "No primitive species has ever defeated Zephyrian forces. Your technology is inferior. Your tactics are chaotic. You cannot win." Admiral Sullivan responded from Earth's command center. "You're right about one thing. Our tactics are chaotic, but that's exactly why we're winning. You've spent so long being perfect that you forgot how to adapt." The alien command ship's defenses finally collapsed under the human assault. Davis's squadron poured weapon fire into the massive vessel's core systems. Explosions rippled along the crystalline hull as the ship's perfect structure began to fail. The hierarch made one last attempt to rally his forces, but it was too late. The virus had corrupted too many systems. His fleet was scattered and confused. Individual alien ships were no match for human forces that fought with creativity and unpredictability. The command ship exploded in a massive fireball that lit up space for millions of miles. The destruction of the Zephyrian flagship sent shockwaves through the alien fleet. Without central coordination, the remaining alien ships began retreating toward the edge of the solar system. But Morrison was not content to let them escape. Human ships, now equipped with captured alien faster-than-light drives, pursued the fleeing Zephyrian forces. For the first time in their history, the aliens were running from a primitive species. The battle was won, but the war was just beginning. Humanity had proven that technological superiority meant nothing against opponents who could adapt and improvise. The galaxy was about to learn a new lesson about the dangers of underestimating human creativity. The news of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy faster than anyone had expected. The Zephyrian communication network, now infected with Tony Garcia's chaos virus, transmitted the impossible truth to hundreds of alien civilizations. The mighty Zephyrian Empire had been defeated by a primitive species from an unknown world. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood on the bridge of humanity's first dreadnought-class starship, the Indomitable. The massive vessel had been built using a combination of human engineering and captured alien technology. It was larger and more powerful than any ship humans had ever constructed. "Admiral, we're receiving transmissions from across the galaxy," reported Communications Officer Ben Walsh. "Dozens of alien species are trying to contact us. Some sound friendly, others do not." Sullivan studied the flood of incoming messages. The galactic community was in chaos. News of the Zephyrian defeat had shattered the established order that had existed for thousands of years. Alien civilizations that had lived in fear of Zephyrian conquest were now free, but they didn't know what to do with their freedom. Dr. Nina Foster worked in the Indomitable's advanced research laboratories, studying alien technology captured from dozens of different species. The Zephyrian databases contained information about entire galactic civilizations. What she discovered was both fascinating and terrifying. The galaxy is divided into several major power blocks, Foster explained to Admiral Sullivan. The Zephyrians were just one of many advanced species. There are others out there who might be even more dangerous. The first alien delegation to reach Earth came from a species called the Korthani. They were tall, thin beings with blue skin and large eyes. Their ships approached slowly, broadcasting messages of friendship and alliance. Ambassador Jake Morrison, promoted after his heroic actions during the war, met with the Korthani representatives on the space station New Aegis. The station had been built to replace the original Aegis Prime, which had been destroyed in the alien attack. "We have watched your victory with great interest," announced the Korthani leader, whose name was impossible for humans to pronounce. "Your species has accomplished something we thought impossible. We wish to learn from you." Morrison was polite but cautious. "We appreciate your friendship, but humanity is still learning about the galaxy. We need time to understand our place in it." The Korthani leader seemed pleased with this response, wisdom in one so young. The Zephyrians were ancient and powerful, but they had forgotten how to change. "Your species remembers. That makes you dangerous to your enemies and valuable to your friends." Not all alien responses were friendly. The Vorthon Empire, a militaristic species from the galaxy's core worlds, sent a very different message. Their transmission reached Earth just days after the Zephyrian defeat. "Humans of Earth," the Vorthon message began, "you have upset the galactic balance by destroying the Zephyrian fleet. This aggression cannot be tolerated. Submit to Vorthon authority or face the consequences." Captain Ryan Davis, now commanding a squadron of hybrid human-alien warships, intercepted the Vorthon message. His response was simple and direct. "Come and try to make us submit. You'll get the same treatment the Zephyrians received." Meanwhile, Dr. Foster's research teams made breakthrough after breakthrough. Working with captured alien archives, they discovered technologies that seemed like magic. Faster-than-light communication, matter transformation, energy manipulation on a stellar scale. The galaxy was full of wonders that humanity was only beginning to understand. "We're like children who just discovered fire," Foster explained to her research team. "Every alien species we encounter has technologies we can learn from and improve upon." Tony Garcia led efforts to reverse engineer and enhance alien computer systems. His chaos virus had been so effective against the Zephyrians that other alien species were now requesting copies for their own protection. Garcia found himself at the center of a new form of galactic warfare: information combat. "The aliens are used to fighting with energy weapons and physical force," Garcia explained. "But humans understand that information can be a more powerful weapon than any gun." Colonel Amy Brooks established humanity's first interstellar Marine Corps. Her soldiers were trained to fight in any environment against any opponent. They combined human creativity with alien technology to become the most adaptable fighting force in the galaxy. "Every alien species we encounter has different strengths and weaknesses," Brooks told her troops. "Our job is to adapt faster than they can. Stay flexible, stay creative, and always be ready to improvise." The galactic situation became more complex when humanity encountered the Nexus, a loose alliance of peaceful species that had been oppressed by more aggressive civilizations. The Nexus worlds welcomed human protection and offered valuable resources in exchange. Admiral Sullivan found herself commanding not just Earth's defenses, but a growing alliance of alien worlds. The responsibility was enormous, but humanity's reputation for defeating superior opponents made them natural leaders. "We never asked to be galactic peacekeepers," Sullivan said during a meeting with her senior officers. "But circumstances have forced this role upon us. We need to be careful not to become the next galactic empire." Commander Morrison, now promoted to admiral, led humanity's first deep space exploration fleets. His ships carried mixed crews of humans and friendly aliens, exploring unknown regions of the galaxy and making contact with new civilizations. Each new contact brought both opportunities and dangers. Some species wanted to join humanity's growing alliance. Others saw humans as a threat to be eliminated. A few seemed to be testing humanity's strength, waiting to see if the victory over the Zephyrians had been luck or skill. The answer came when the Vorthon Empire finally made good on their threats. A massive Vorthon battle fleet entered the solar system, confident that their advanced technology would easily defeat the primitive humans. The Vorthons were more advanced than the Zephyrians, but they made the same crucial mistake. They assumed that superior technology guaranteed victory. They had studied the Zephyrian defeat but failed to understand the real reason for human success. Admiral Sullivan coordinated humanity's defense from the Indomitable. The human fleet was smaller than the Vorthan Armada, but every ship was crewed by veterans of the Zephyrian War. They knew how to turn chaos and creativity into weapons. The Vorthans fight like the Zephyrians did, Sullivan announced to her fleet. They're organized, logical, and predictable. That means we can beat them the same way we beat the Zephyrians. The battle was shorter and more decisive than the fight against the Zephyrians. Human forces used improved versions of the tactics that had worked before. Chaotic attack patterns confused Vorthan targeting systems. The chaos virus disrupted their communications. Human creativity turned Vorthan strengths into weaknesses. Captain Davis led the attack on the Vorthan flagship, a massive vessel that dwarfed even the largest human ships. But size meant nothing when the enemy could not adapt to unexpected tactics. Davis's squadron tore the Vorthan flagship apart, using weapons and strategies the aliens had never encountered. The destruction of their command ship caused the Vorthan fleet to retreat in disorder. Another galactic power had learned that humanity was not to be underestimated. Word of the second human victory spread even faster than news of the first. Dr. Foster's analysis of captured Vorthan technology revealed something disturbing. The galaxy was headed toward a massive war between multiple alien empires. Humanity had become a major player in this conflict whether they wanted to or not. We're caught between several hostile empires, Foster reported. They're all watching us, trying to determine if we're a threat or an opportunity. Our next actions will determine whether we face the galaxy alone or with allies. Admiral Sullivan made the decision that would shape humanity's future in the galaxy. Instead of trying to remain isolated, Earth would actively seek alliances with peaceful species while preparing to defend against aggressive ones. We didn't ask to be involved in galactic politics, Sullivan announced. But we're here now. Our choice is simple. We can hide and hope the galaxy ignores us, or we can take an active role in shaping our own destiny. The formation of the Human Alliance marked the beginning of a new era in galactic history. Dozens of species joined the alliance, attracted by humanity's reputation for protecting the weak and defeating the strong. The alliance grew rapidly as more civilizations sought human protection. Admiral Morrison commanded the alliance's combined fleets, which included ships from dozens of different species. The diversity of the fleet was its greatest strength. Each species contributed unique technologies and perspectives, creating a military force that was truly greater than the sum of its parts. As the story reached its conclusion, humanity stood at the center of galactic affairs. Earth's fleets patrolled space lanes throughout the galaxy, protecting trade and keeping the peace. Human colonies were being established on dozens of worlds, spreading humanity's influence and ideas. The galaxy had learned several important lessons from humanity's rise to power. Technological superiority alone did not guarantee victory. Creativity and adaptability were more valuable than perfect weapons. Most importantly, a species that refused to accept defeat could overcome any obstacle.